It's about building healthy habits that you can stick with for the long haul, not just a quick fix. So she's not just giving you the information, she's also giving you the tools and support to actually implement it into your life.
Exactly. And she emphasizes that this is not about deprivation or perfection. It's about finding what works for you, listening to your body, and making choices that support your overall well-being.
It sounds like she's really created a comprehensive and empowering program for women navigating menopause. It's not just about weight loss or fitting into a certain size, it's about feeling your best, both physically and mentally, as you enter this new chapter of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she makes it clear that you're not alone on this journey. She provides a supportive community where women can connect, share their experiences, and encourage each other along the way.
That's so valuable. It's like having a tribe of women who understand what you're going through and can offer support and inspiration.
Exactly. And she also provides ongoing support from her team of experts, so you can get personalized guidance and answers to your questions whenever you need them.
That's fantastic. It sounds like she's really thought of everything to make this program as accessible and supportive as possible.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I want to make sure we touch on one more important aspect of Dr. Francis' approach, her emphasis on debunking common myths and misconceptions about menopause and nutrition.
That's a great point. She tackles a lot of the misinformation that's out there, especially when it comes to restrictive diets and quick fixes that promise to reverse menopause or make you look and feel 20 years younger.
Yes, you see those ads everywhere promising miracle results. But what are some of the specific myths she debunks?
One of the big ones she tackles is the myth that you need to drastically cut calories to lose weight during menopause. She explains that while it's important to be mindful of your calorie intake, severely restricting calories can actually backfire and make it harder to lose weight in the long run.
That makes sense. If you're constantly depriving yourself, you're more likely to end up feeling deprived and overeating later on. Exactly. She also debunks the myth that all carbs are bad and that you need to follow a low-carb diet to manage your weight during menopause. She explains that carbohydrates are an important source of energy for your body and that you don't need to eliminate them entirely. The key is to choose the right types of carbs, like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, which provide sustained energy and fiber.
So it's about quality over quantity when it comes to carbs. What other myths does she debunk?
She also addresses the myth that you can spot reduce fat, meaning that you can target specific areas of your body for fat loss through exercise. She explains that while exercise is essential for overall health and body composition, you can't control where your body loses fat from.
That's good to know. I've definitely fallen for that myth before. What about the myth that menopause means your metabolism is doomed and you're destined to gain weight?
She tackles that one head on. She explains that while your metabolism does naturally slow down as you age, it doesn't mean you're powerless against weight gain. She emphasizes that by making healthy lifestyle choices, including regular exercise, strength training, and a balanced diet, you can absolutely maintain a healthy weight and body composition throughout menopause and beyond.
That's so empowering. It's about taking control of your health and well-being, not letting menopause dictate your fate.
Exactly. And she emphasizes that it's never too late to start making healthy changes. No matter what your age or fitness level, you can always take steps to improve your health and well-being.
I love that message. It's about embracing this stage of life with a positive mindset and focusing on what you can control, not what you can't.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And speaking of embracing this stage of life, Dr. France actually dedicates a whole section of her program to addressing the emotional and mental aspects of menopause.
That's so important. We've talked a lot about the physical changes, but the emotional and mental side of menopause can be just as challenging, if not more so. What are some of the key takeaways from that section of the program?
She starts by acknowledging that menopause is a time of significant hormonal fluctuations, which can impact your mood, energy levels, sleep, and overall sense of well-being. She also highlights the societal pressures and expectations that women often face during this time, which can add to the stress and overwhelm.
It's like you're navigating this internal hormonal roller coaster while also dealing with external pressures and expectations. It's no wonder so many women feel overwhelmed.
Exactly. And she emphasizes that it's okay to not feel okay all the time. She encourages women to be gentle with themselves, practice self-care, and seek support when they need it.
That's such an important message. It's about giving yourself permission to feel your feelings and not judging yourself for having a bad day or feeling overwhelmed. But what are some of the practical tips she offers for managing the emotional and mental challenges of menopause?
One of her key recommendations is prioritizing stress management techniques that work for you. This might include things like meditation yoga, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature journaling, or listening to calming music.
Those are all great suggestions. It's about finding what helps you relax and de-stress. Are there any other tips she offers?
She also emphasizes the importance of getting enough sleep. We mentioned earlier how hormonal changes can disrupt sleep during menopause, but she also explains that poor sleep can actually exacerbate other menopausal symptoms, including mood swings, hot flashes, and weight gain. So she provides a lot of practical tips for improving sleep hygiene, such as creating a relaxing bedtime routine, avoiding caffeine and alcohol before bed, and making sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool.
Those are all really helpful tips. It's amazing how interconnected everything is: our sleep, our hormones, our mood, our weight.
Exactly. And she also emphasizes the importance of nurturing your social connections and surrounding yourself with supportive people. She explains that social isolation can be a real issue during menopause, especially as women navigate changing roles and responsibilities in their lives.
It's like you're going through all these changes, and it can be hard to feel connected and supported if you don't have people you can talk to and share your experiences with.
Exactly. So she encourages women to prioritize their relationships with friends, family, and other supportive people in their lives. She also recommends joining support groups or online communities where you can connect with other women going through similar experiences.
That's such a valuable resource. It's like having a tribe of women who understand what you're going through and can offer support and encouragement. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I want to circle back to one of the things that initially intrigued me about Dr. Frenz's approach, this idea of listening to your body's signals. We talked about rating your hunger on a scale of 1 to 10, but what are some other ways she teaches women to tap into their body's wisdom?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One of the key things she emphasizes is paying attention to how different foods make you feel, both physically and emotionally. She encourages women to keep a food journal, not for the purpose of tracking calories or restricting food, but for the purpose of observing how different foods impact their energy levels, mood, digestion, sleep, and overall well-being.
That's a really interesting approach. It's like turning your body into a laboratory and becoming your own scientist. What are some examples of the types of things you might discover by paying close attention to how different foods make you feel?
You might discover that certain foods, like processed foods or sugary drinks, give you a quick burst of energy, followed by a crash, while other foods, like whole grains and lean proteins, provide sustained energy throughout the day. You might also notice that certain foods like dairy or gluten cause digestive discomfort, while others don't. And you might even discover that certain foods like comfort foods or emotional eating triggers had a significant impact on your mood.
That's fascinating. It's like becoming a detective and unraveling the mysteries of your own body.
Exactly. And by paying close attention to these subtle cues, you can start to make more informed choices about what you eat, based not on external rules or restrictions, but on what truly nourishes and supports your body.
I love that. It's about empowering yourself to become the expert on your own body and making choices that align with your individual needs and preferences.
Right. And she emphasizes that this process is ongoing. Your body is constantly changing and evolving, so it's important to stay curious and continue experimenting with different foods and lifestyle habits to see what works best for you at each stage of life.
That makes sense. It's about embracing a lifelong journey of self-discovery and self-care. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I want to shift gears for a moment and talk about Dr. Frenz's background. We mentioned that she's open about her past struggles with anorexia, but I'm curious to learn more about her journey and how those experiences shaped her approach to nutrition and wellness.
That's a great question. Dr. Franz actually shares quite a bit about her personal journey in her presentation. She talks about how her struggles with anorexia in her younger years led to a deep fascination with the complex relationship between food, body image, and mental health.
It's like her own personal struggles sparked a passion for helping others navigate these challenges.
Exactly. She explains that her recovery from anorexia was a long and difficult process, but it ultimately led her to pursue a career in nutrition and wellness with a focus on helping women develop a healthy and balanced relationship with food and their bodies.
That's so inspiring. It's like she took her own pain and transformed it into a powerful force for healing and empowerment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she emphasizes that her approach is not about striving for perfection or conforming to unrealistic beauty standards. It's about embracing your individuality, honoring your body, and making choices that support your overall well-being.
I love that. It's about shifting the focus from external validation to internal self-acceptance.
Exactly. And she also stresses that everyone's journey is unique. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to health and wellness, and what works for one person may not work for another.
That's so important to remember. It's about finding what works for you, not comparing yourself to others or trying to fit into someone else's mold.
Right. And she encourages women to experiment, be patient with themselves, and celebrate their progress along the way.
It sounds like she's created a really supportive and encouraging environment for women to learn and grow. Okay, so we've talked a lot about Dr. Franz's approach to nutrition and wellness, but I'm curious to hear your personal takeaways from the presentation. What stood out to you as particularly insightful or impactful?
One of the things that really resonated with me was her emphasis on shifting from a diet mentality to a lifestyle mentality. She explains that diets are often restrictive and unsustainable, setting you up for a cycle of yo-yoing and feeling like a failure. But when you focus on creating a healthy lifestyle that you enjoy, it becomes more about making sustainable changes that you can stick with for the long haul.
That's a really powerful shift in perspective. It's about moving away from short-term fixes and embracing a long-term approach to health and well-being.
Exactly. And another thing that stood out to me was her emphasis on the importance of strength training, especially for women in menopause. We talked earlier about how strength training helps you build and maintain lean muscle mass, boost your metabolism, and strengthen your bones. But she also explains that it can have a profound impact on your energy levels, mood, and overall sense of well-being.
That's so true. I know from personal experience that when I'm consistent with strength training, I feel stronger, more energized, and more confident.
Exactly. And she also emphasizes that you don't need to spend hours at the gym to reap the benefits of strength training. Even short, targeted workouts a few times a week can make a big difference.
That's great news for those of us who are busy and don't have a lot of time to spare. Are there any other takeaways that particularly resonated with you?
Yes, I really appreciated her focus on the interconnectedness of all aspects of health and well-being. She explains that our physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health are all intertwined, and that when one area is out of balance, it can affect all the others.
That's so true. It's like a holistic approach to well-being where you're addressing all aspects of yourself, not just one or two.
Exactly. And she emphasizes that self-care is not selfish. It's essential. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to take care of others and show up fully in your life.
Hey, love that. It's about prioritizing your own well-being so you can show up as your best self for yourself and for others. Okay, so we've talked a lot about Dr. Franz's approach, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the overall tone and presentation of the material. Did you find it engaging and informative? Did anything feel off or inauthentic?
I found the overall tone to be very positive, encouraging, and empowering. She comes across as genuinely passionate about helping women navigate menopause with grace and confidence, and she doesn't shy away from sharing her own personal experiences, which makes her feel relatable and approachable.
Did you notice anything that felt salesy or off-putting?
Of course, there are definitely moments where she's promoting her online course, but overall, I felt like the information she shared was valuable and insightful, even if you don't end up enrolling in her program.
That's good to hear. I think it's important to be transparent about the fact that this is a sales presentation, but it's also important to acknowledge that there's a lot of valuable information being shared regardless of whether you decide to purchase her course or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she makes it clear that she's not offering a quick fix or a magic bullet. She's offering a comprehensive program that requires effort and commitment. But she also emphasizes that it's a journey worth taking.
That's a really important point. It's about setting realistic expectations and understanding that true health and well-being is an ongoing process, not a destination.
Exactly. And she also stresses that you don't have to do it alone. She provides a supportive community and ongoing support from her team of experts to help you along the way.
That's fantastic. It's like she's created a whole ecosystem of support to help women thrive during menopause and beyond.
Absolutely. And she also provides a lot of resources and tools that you can access for free, even if you don't enroll in her program.
That's great. What are some of the free resources she offers?
She has a free ebook called Busting Myths, Boosting Health, which dives deeper into some of the topics we've discussed today, like debunking common myths about menopause and nutrition, setting realistic goals, and creating sustainable lifestyle changes.
That sounds like a valuable resource. Is there anything else she offers for free?
She also has a free newsletter where she shares tips, recipes, and inspiration for healthy living during menopause.
That's fantastic. So even if you're not ready to commit to the full program, you can still benefit from her expertise and support. Speaking of support, did you catch that little detail about Dr. Franz being a self-proclaimed dog lady?
Yeah, I saw that. I think she even mentioned her Great Dane might pop up in some of the course videos.
I love that. It's those little personal touches that make it feel less like a sterile online course and more like you're learning from a real person. So for any of you out there who are feeling like, okay, I'm ready to take control of my health during menopause, but I need some guidance, this might be just what you're looking for. And speaking of guidance, she's currently offering a limited time discount on her menopause makeover course.
Plus, you can grab a free copy of her ebook, Busting Myths, Boosting Health.
Exactly. It's a great way to get a taste of her approach and see if it resonates with you. You can find all the details and links on her website, www.tykefriends.com. We'll also include those links in the show notes for easy access. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. If you could ditch the diet mentality and create a lifestyle that truly nourishes your body and soul during menopause, what would that look and feel like for you?
It's all about tuning into what your body needs, honoring your intuition, and making choices that align with your values.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, it's about embracing that queen energy that Dr. Franz talks about. It's about stepping into your power and creating a menopause experience that feels authentic, joyful, and truly your own.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Dr. Heike Franz's approach to menopause. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and keep taking good care of yourselves.